As the man of your household, is it not your responsibility to your family to know how to fix and repair things? I think so. What do you guys think of this toque? Look at that, built right in. Christmas gift, ready to spring into action. Won't be repairing or fixing anything in the dark. There's a lot of things in a household that are required to keep things moving forward, to keep your family safe and fed, etc. We have vehicles. We need them to get places. There's plumbing that everyone's fairly fond of. Everyone likes to have a shower, and if the water doesn't run and the sewer quits flowing, the family is in big trouble. And of course there's heat, because if things aren't heated and things get frozen, well, things go south in a big hurry real fast. And of course there's electrical that can lead to trouble sometime. Most families like to have the lights on. And of course, in addition to keeping the lights on, keeping things warm, food's a consideration. Somebody's got to be thinking about that. So you may be asking, Scott, what exactly are we talking about here? Well, this is what my thought is. There are a lot of systems in place that are required to keep your family safe, happy, secure. And as the man of the household, my opinion would be that you have a large responsibility to have knowledge of these things and have some basic capability to fix them when things go wrong. Now, I'm not insinuating that myself or any of you guys out there are going to be an expert in every single one of these trade areas, but you owe it to yourself and to your family to have a little inclination as to what does what and why it does it. The heat goes out. We just had a cold stretch. It got down to -40. So if your furnace quits working, I'm not saying it's 100% your responsibility to know the ins and outs and how to fix the whole thing, but it is your responsibility to have some sort of plan. What is the plan, at least? Maybe you don't have the parts, maybe you don't have the tools because that's not your background, your area expertise, but what are you going to do about it? You can't just flounder around in neutral as your kids are getting frozen like popsicles. Something bursts, a pipe bursts in the house. Well, it can start at, I got all the tools and I know exactly how to fix this problem, or at the very minimum, as the leader of your household, do you know where the water shutoff is? Maybe you rent. And you go, I've never really thought about it. Do you know how to shut the water off to the building that you live in the case of some sort of emergency? And of course, the more rural the property gets, the more responsibilities the guy's gonna have. The food requirements, power goes out. Well, it used to be back in the day when I was a little kid, it could go out for a few days at a time. You start thinking, man, well, I got a lot of food that's gonna spoil. Well, financially, that's not good. What are you gonna do about it? Do you have some way to back up power, the deep freeze? Do you have a friend or a buddy that lives in a different neighborhood that maybe you've got a plan worked out? You reciprocate the gesture that he could help you out by storing a little bit of your perishables. I'm not an automotive mechanic, not in the least bit, but I do know enough to at least forge a plan ahead. My wife has somewhere to go and the car won't start. I have a basic set of criteria that I could run through. Guy's got a battery pack to boost the dead battery. I mean, there are minimal provisions that every guy should have in place to keep things moving forward. And if you don't have all of the tools and the knowledge, then the best thing you can do is you set yourself up with a network of people that can help you when you're in a pinch. Maybe they have a skill set that you don't have. You can reciprocate back and forth. My truck that I rely on for work, I have an excellent relationship with a mechanic that understands the importance of that tool to me, and he gets me in right away. And we have built this relationship up over the course of years. If something were to break down in my house, well, I know where to get the parts. I know and have some of the spare parts on hand. And I know who I could contact to help me walk through the knowledge to get things back up and running for the things I don't know how to do. I don't know. It's gotten to a point where it seems a lot of folks don't feel they're responsible for any of this sort of thing. I do a lot of contracting work and run into folks all the time that they don't possess a basic knowledge of their own home. And you should. You should have a basic understanding of what's what, how to fix one or two things, a basic set of tools, because I'll tell you, it's not always ideal. You can't always just pick up the phone, dial somebody, and have a service repairman show up and get you out of a pinch. Nor do I think in the direction we're headed that that's financially possible. You just can't. I know I can't. If every little thing that broke around here, I had to pay someone to fix it, you'd be cooked. So there's a lot to it being the man of the household, I think. I grew up with excellent examples in my life. I never once in my life, still to this day, saw another man come to my dad's house to fix something for him. Not one time. Never. And I try to lead my life the same way. It's fulfilling. It costs a heck of a lot less. And well, who's closer in the case of an emergency, in a pinch, than yourself? You can't get much closer than that. You don't have to phone yourself. You're already there. You just got to put on a pair of pants and get to work. That's my thought, I think. Have a couple spares, you know. Get yourself a jump pack for your wife's car. Go to Canadian Tire, get a basic set of tools, and maybe do a little bit of reading. You know, there's basic books on things, simple house electrical and simple house plumbing and how things work. Get a sense of it. The best time to learn about how something works is when there's no pressure, when it's already working. Your furnace working right now? Shit, the summertime. Look at it in the summertime. How does this thing work? What does this A connects to B to C? How does my hot water tank work? How does the pressure tank for my well system work? What would I do and what are involved in the parts? You just get yourself a little notebook. You start writing all this stuff down. Parts information, phone numbers for people. Thinking, yeah, shit, maybe we start putting a few bucks aside and we're going to get one of these and we're going to get one of those just to have, you know. You kind of become your own hardware store for the real critical stuff. Yeah, I'm not perfect. I think what we're going to do is we're going to rock into a bit of a YouTube series on just that subject, because, you know, me thinking about this and talking with guys over the holidays here, I'm thinking, man, I myself have a lot of deficiencies in this message that I'm relaying to you. So that's why I'm thinking about it. So maybe we'll tackle a few things as we go, and I can kind of show you what I do for my house, and two birds with one stone. I'll get a few things taken care of so I can sleep easier at night. Anyways, see you on the next adventure. Take care.